Hello and welcome to the I Can Do podcast with Benjamin Lee. We're here to talk about tips and strategies to have an I Can Do mindset when it comes to faith, family, fitness, and food. Let's go. Here's your host, Benjamin Lee.
Hello and welcome to another episode of I Can Do. I am Benjamin Lee. Thank you for tuning in. I certainly am thankful for every day of life. I know you are as well. We've been reminded about how fragile life really is. We've seen how quickly our lives have changed, how fast they can change. I'm sure for so many of us, we're even more grateful for the wonderful blessings that we have. Every day, let's focus upon the blessings, the things that we do have. Let's hug our children tighter. Let's hug our spouse tighter. Let's continue to worship God. Let's be sure that we do something else. Let's be sure that we focus. This has been the year of cancellation. I wrote a blog called The Year of Cancellation. You can find it at benjaminlee.blog. I have a lot of erased meetings in that calendar that my wife, my son, and myself, we all put together earlier this year. I even did a podcast called Put It in the Calendar, if you've listened to that. And looking at that calendar, obviously a lot of things have changed. As I have erased certain meetings that have been canceled and different events that have been canceled, for a moment of time, I kind of felt like, man, we did all this work at the beginning of the year of putting this calendar together, trying to become more organized, trying to have a little bit more control in our lives, and now everything has changed. But as I think more about it, I do recognize a couple of things. One, it was a very excellent exercise for us to do. Two, it's been a reminder that we don't always have as much control as we would like to have and think that we actually do have. But there's something else I thought about as well. What we did at the beginning of the year, it was not a waste of time. Really, I think it got us off to the on the right track. And it really planted a seed for us, and I'm really happy that we did it. I've realized something else. What people need during this time as we are fighting, so many people, and God bless all of the doctors and nurses and hospital staff that are fighting the coronavirus pandemic, so many people who are doing so many generous acts of kindness and just thinking about how people can help one another. We need that even more. I've come to realize something else. Even though this has been the year of cancellation, even though our calendars have been totally turned upside down, I have come to realize that even more, we need a calendar. You need to have a calendar, a schedule, a planner, even more than probably what we needed back in January. I think we all are in the same boat that some of these days can become like a blur if not careful. You don't know what day it is. We're not going to the gym or to the restaurants that we used to dine in. So if not careful, we can just lose track of time. My sleep has been off. I'm sure your sleep has been off. I've talked to other people and the same has been true for them. That's okay. That's just part of what we're going through at this moment. However, we need to navigate to the best of our ability, and that's why this podcast is called Why Your Calendar is Even More Important. Here's what I mean. When you go to bed tonight, you should have a plan of what your day will look like tomorrow. For example, what time do you plan on waking up? What are you going to eat tomorrow? When will you begin work? When will the children begin school? When will work finish? What Zoom conference calls are scheduled for tomorrow? That's what I mean, that in the sense that we need a calendar. We need some type of calendar or planner to really map out our days. I think now more than ever, all of these items and agendas and things that we need to do need to be written out in a calendar, a planner, whatever it is that you may use. I'm currently using the Michael Hyatt Full Focus Planner, and you can find that at michaelhyatt.com. And then I have a 12-month calendar that I use as well, that I'm really putting in different things throughout the week and over the next couple of months as well. So the name of the game is focus. I know that's very challenging during this time, but it is something that's necessary. Even when it comes to things like the grocery store now, we have to focus. We have to time when we're going to the grocery store. That needs to be in the calendar as well. So let me give you a couple more suggestions. Put in the calendar when you will check the news. You know, it can be so easy just to become consumed with the news. That's why you need to have a calendar, a planner, a plan of attack, even when it comes to things like the news. Put down or write down how much time you're going to spend each day watching the news. When that time is up, then you're done with the news. Put in the calendar how much social media you plan to consume for that day. Once that time has been hit, then you're done with social media. Put in the calendar what time you're going to work out, then follow through and get the workout in. I know our lives have changed. However, we can still focus, and we can still have a plan of attack. There's still much good that can be done, like prayer. When it comes to prayer, what if we wrote down in our calendar or our planner what time of the day we're going to pray, how often we're going to pray, who we're going to pray for, and trying to be as detailed and focused as we can. I think about Daniel in the Old Testament and how he prayed 3 times a day. He had this rhythm in his life. I know that would have been challenging for him. I know it can be challenging even for us right now, but really focusing on the things that we can control, we can still control a lot. So start thinking about tomorrow. Plan your day, because it's the only day that we have. Today is the only day that we have. Hopefully, Lord willing, we'll have another day tomorrow. Make the most of your time. Your calendar, I believe, is even more important than what it was back in January. Focus. Take it one day at a time. Stay strong. And remember, I can do, so can you.